Good morning. 4:44 got up on me a little bit faster than I expected today. I was doing other things, and all of a sudden I looked at the clock and it was 4:42, and I hadn't lit the candles yet, and a couple other things I needed to do really quickly to get ready to actually start today's video, which I've entitled Faith, Hope, and Love, and the Greatest is Love. Where did I lay that video? Oh, there it is. Last night, we gathered here at the Mary Horkin Center to watch the DVD, Solar Revolution. The well-known German biophysicist Dieter Broers, and I may not be pronouncing his last name correctly, sees increased solar activity not as an impending apocalypse, but as the dawn of a new era. Drawing on research from a variety of disciplines, he shows how erupting solar activity carries the potential to boost our brain capacity and expand our minds in ways never imagined possible. Abilities now seen as extraordinary or supernatural, telepathy, extrasensory perception, and off-the-charts intelligence quotients, may soon become ordinary and natural, and could very well help us solve the mounting global crises we are facing. He also acknowledged that it was the heart that carries the greatest potential to influence the field in which we live, for it is love, and only love, that can transform the mess we are in. Today I want to talk with you a bit about what may lie in our immediate future, a powerful mass awakening that will be the game changer we've long awaited. It was interesting to me that early on in the movie, it was acknowledged that scientists have become like religionists have been for a long time, very dogmatic and narrow-minded in their beliefs. Fundamentalist science is just as guilty as fundamentalist religion of keeping us in the box and the prison in which we find ourselves as the human family. And I speak of all of us because even those of us that think we're free, while living on this earth, we're not free as long as our brothers and sisters are still in ignorance and as long as they are not free. Now, the trigger mechanism, if you will, that might be leading us to this great mass awakening is a huge black hole in Sagittarius that will reach its pinnacle in mid-summer 2013 or mid-year 2013. June 2013, plus or minus a little bit. We're there. We are there. People are actually saying May 25th is going to be very, very powerful. Well, that's tomorrow. That's the day that there's all sorts of activities going on around the globe as far as marching against Monsanto and against bioengineering and owning life, like not just Monsanto, but other corporations think they have the right to do. Greedy people that are insane, psychopathic, sociopathic, not aware, they're asleep. But people that take the what they call it, the God particle or the God molecule or something, I don't know, DMT. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it because I don't have it in front of me and I'll probably not get it correct. But anyway, DMT, when they did experiments with people, one man said, I can't believe experiencing 10,000 years in 15 minutes, or was it 1,000 years? I might have one of the zeros off, but I thought he said 10,000 years in 15 minutes. And another lady said, and I saw all these beings, and they knew that I was coming, and they welcomed me, and and then I talked to God. And it wasn't like a dream state. It was like this was a reality. It was just a super reality. And DMT is triggered by electromagnetic pulses or intelligent electromagnetic impulses, as I came up with in the Mystics in Training class yesterday when we were talking about relationships and stuff like that, and what is it that triggers love? What is it that what did I write down? I can't remember. I came up with a definition for something, and the definition was intelligent electromagnetic pulses, and that's what's happening. They talk about what it might do to our electronics and stuff like that. This solar activity, but the truth of the matter is, it's going to have a greater effect on us, and it's going to maybe boost us into a higher frame of reference, so that all of a sudden we can see beyond the restrictions of our separation consciousness, which is only material world based, and we can see what we cannot see now. They have acknowledged it. We only can see. We can only perceive with our five senses 4 to 5% of the total reality of what exists. Well, what happens if we awaken and even increase that to 10 or 20% of what really exists, because we probably couldn't take all of it all at once. But what if we could double our capacity to perceive in an instant, because of an intelligent, divine, cosmic directed pulse of electromagnetism that intelligently reprograms us and wipes out the programming that already exists, and changes us in an instant, in the twinkling of an eye, as mystics have said and prophets have said for a long time, that we will be changed in the twinkling of an eye. Well, maybe that twinkling of an eye is a lot closer than some people might imagine. Forget all the timetables, forget the dates. We're living in a time when everything is coming to a climax, everything is coming to a head. But in order to get there, we have to be willing to embrace the possibility that there's more. And even if we're not willing to embrace that possibility, sometimes spirit captures us, as it were, and brings us to the higher dimensional experience, to see the higher dimensional reality of the connection that we all have with life itself. In 1982, the year that the separation began, the divorce followed in March of 1983. But my separation from my first wife happened in June, and then it re-happened again in August. First I kicked her out, and then I let her come back, and then I left and let her stay in the house. But during that period in 1982, I wrote a poem, which is in my book, Living Gods Are Hard to Find. And the title was True Love Comes in Broken Hearts. And I want to share that with you this morning, because it shows to me the change that must take place in all of us, even if we're not religious, even if we're dogmatic scientists and think that we're very pragmatic and rational in our left brain, and think that if you can't measure it, it doesn't exist, etc. All the limitations that we put on ourselves. This is the process, part of the process that I was going through in 1982 and have been going through really for my entire life. And again, the title is True Love Comes in Broken Hearts. I'm a prisoner of love, and I never want my freedom. He'd like to capture all his kids and by his spirit lead 'em. But I was so self-centered. I had the answers figured out. I knew I was a special case, that I'd win, I had no doubt. For I could quote the Bible. I knew what God would do. Yeah, right. I would walk that narrow road as one of the chosen few. I could show the other people just where they were wrong, for I had a balanced view of truth and faith, and my faith was very strong. I would fast and I would pray to make God move his hand. After all, he promised, and on his word I'd stand. I would show those atheists just how real God was. I'd be his great defender. I'd really cause a buzz. And those terrible bad people who were breaking all the rules, I'd tell them a thing or two and prove that they were fools. Those who disagreed with me were in for quite a fight, for all the hosts of darkness couldn't stand against my light. I could never be defeated because I had the truth. So I'd seek out all the errors and be a master sleuth. The world could be converted. It only had to see the great anointing God had caused to rest on lowly me. God found himself obliged to answer every prayer. After all, he'd promised, and I knew he was there. But something different happened. My Bible God was dead. He would not listen to my prayers. He had another plan instead. For you see, I was not loving. My heart was hard as stone. So God was forced to break it by leaving me all alone. There I was with all my plans and my dreams of being used. I was unaware of sickness and that I was deeply bruised. So I spent time in the valley where everything fell apart. All that I had lived for. Now I couldn't even start. I learned about despair and in self-pity sank. For God had me imprisoned within a darkened tank. I felt such awful bitterness that I had been deceived. My life now seemed hopeless, everything that I believed. But he broke my self-reliance. He smashed self-righteous pride. He crushed me with his hand of love, till I saw deep inside. Oh, friend, I wasn't pretty. I was uglier than hell. When I saw the real me, down on my face I fell. And that is where I found love. He accepted me that way. So I will never cover up my human feet of clay. I am an earthen vessel, but I have a broken heart. And I know God will use me. I know he'll do his part. For now I can obey him when he commands to love. True love comes in broken hearts. It's a gift from God above. As the cosmos shatters our paradigm of separation, our paradigm of physical only mentality, the world is going to change because we are going to change. We're going to all of a sudden find the connection with our celestial realms, our extraterrestrial realms. We're going to find the connection with other beings that are a lot like us and yet different, more advanced, more intelligent, and much more loving. We're going to be reconnected with those parts of ourselves that have been scattered to the winds in our evolutionary process of forgetting and developing spiritual amnesia, forgetting that we are infinite and eternal beings. We're going to be remembering again. And when we remember, we're not going to be able to hurt each other. We're not going to be able to continue to hurt ourselves by denying ourselves the gifts that are within us, because all of a sudden those gifts are going to be awakened. I ask you this morning to put your focus not on what's wrong with things. It's okay to see what's wrong. In fact, it's essential that we see the world that we have created. But to open your mind and to open your heart, to trust your gut, that there is a divine plan, for we are all prisoners of love, and God is love. God is that love. And the cosmos plan is very scientific. It's very spiritual, and physical, rational and mystical are coming together in 2013, this year, this summer, this spring, right now. They're coming together to show us who we are and to show us the potential that we have in our hands and in our hearts to create together heaven on earth. I leave you with these thoughts, and again I thank you for listening. May you be blessed out of your skin, beyond your body, beyond your mind. May you embrace the greatest gift of all, love. You are love. I am love. You're all love. Namaste.